This is a download from the BBC. To find out more, visit bbc.co.uk/Radio 2.
Good afternoon and welcome to Winging It for a Saturday. It's the 8th of October. I'm here and Big Pete's here.
How you doing, guys?
Good afternoon, Big Pete.
Good afternoon, big man.
So before we tell you what is on the show between now and 5 o'clock, what's not on the show? Well, we haven't got any supporters of David Davis who are saying, wow, what a great week that was. Oh, no. We haven't got anyone who's 39, like me, who wants David Cameron to be the next leader of the Tory party. Because if he does, the leader of the Tory party will be younger than we are. Now, do you remember the day the policemen were younger than you? That was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Can't have a leader of the country, though.
Yeah, the day that teachers were younger than you? That was fine. Even the odd vicar being younger than you, that's fine. But not the leader of a major political party. No, thank you. What else have we got on the show? We haven't got anyone who smokes on the show who realises that the average smoker spends £92,700 on cigarettes before they puff for the last time. Stop smoking now. Protect your wealth as well as your health. What else have we got on the show? We haven't got anyone who's just eaten a salad and feels bad, because you don't feel bad
Never
after
feel
eating
bad after eating a salad.
You don't.
Never.
But also, we haven't got anyone on the show who's just eaten a salad and couldn't murder a pork pie. That's what I did yesterday. Had a salad, thought, I've got to have the pork pie. Why don't you just have the pork pie, not the salad? What else is on the show? We haven't got anyone on the show who isn't dying to read the John Peel biography. I started reading some of it this morning. There's more of it in the papers tomorrow. Obviously a hugely successful broadcaster, but apparently an even better husband and dad. And do you know, Pete, do you know how he met his lovely wife?
I've got no idea.
She was an audience member at one of his shows and he gave her his phone number.
And
that's it. It can be that simple.
It can be that simple.
So, from next week, we will be having a studio audience here for this show for the rest of time. What else isn't on the show? We haven't got anyone on the show who doesn't feel that it's just far too warm for October the 8th. The end is obviously nigh, but at least we'll be wearing T-shirts when it comes. And finally, we haven't got anyone on the show who hasn't seen the front cover of this week's Guardian Weekend magazine and thought, flip it!
Oh, my God.
And we can't say any more than that.
No.
If you haven't seen it, go and check it out in your local newsagents. So what is on the show? All the regulars, Big Pete and his pearls of wisdom. I've never said this before, but I'm going to say it now. The jingle without a cause. The award for Best Bit on Radio 2 this week. The Saturday Results Service, in brackets, it's not what you think. And more Cheese versus Class. Plus today, Status Quo, 12 Gold Bars is the album of resurrection. Bridge Over Troubled Water takes on the Uncovered Club. Katie Melua drops in between 4 and 5, and we get her in a jiffy and ask her, Katie Melua, is this your life? And we'll be asking Gaz Coombs from Supergrass. Gaz, you are on tour, we accept that, but do you know where you are? This show is no one-man band. Here's the orchestra answering the phones today. You'll be talking to Marky Mark.
Hi, Marky Mark, still 32 and still available, Sven, if you need me for that centre-back position.
He's brought his boots. Naughty Nick's here.
I'm Naughty Nick, I'm 22 and I really need a haircut.
Perky Pat's here.
Hi, I'm Perky Pat and I can pick a peck of pickled pepper.
Their number is 0500 288 291. Log on the web today, Scott the Lot, bbc.co.uk/radio 2. Log on to the CE mini site.
Hi, I'm Scott, 26, and I'm wearing my new monthly disposable contact lenses today!
Hey! The Uber Gripen 4, Lady Helen of Amazonia, and Head and Knobs today, Dr. Bunce, MSA, RAC, B&Q, CNA. Thank you, Dr. Bunce. The show's ready to roll. Whatever it is you're doing, take us with you. We promise entertainment, information, music, and hopefully all with a big, huge smile on your 88 to 91 FM radio dial. It's all going on the show today. You can email us, chris.evans@bbc.co.uk. We've got a few issues here that we'd like your help with, haven't we, Pedro?
Oh, always.
We have a few issues. First of all, we were told last night that there's a brewery for sale in Suffolk. Well, we've got to have a look at that, haven't we? We've got to have a little sniff round there. Yeah. It's a brewery that actually brews organic beer.
Is it the St. Peter's Brewery?
Yes, but it's in a monastery, a 12th century monastery. It's beautiful, and apparently still their books prove that supply outstrips demand. So what's for sale near you, babies? ChrisEvans.bbc.co.uk. So that's quite important. Where's the best place to meet a partner? It's not in a pub, it's not in a bar, it's not in a restaurant. Apparently top of the list, art galleries or tea shops.
Tea shops?
Yeah, you get a classy kind of person in a tea shop. Maybe not for you, Pete, but for other of us, might be okay, whatever. And also 24 across in the Telegraph crossword. We can't get it. We got the rest of them, but we need this, and it's a surprise crossword today, so we can't phone up the premium phone line. And, and this is the clue: 24 across, space O, space C, space R, space I. Can't believe I'm doing this on the radio. The clue is not North American musical instrument used in orchestral compositions. Not North American musical instrument used in orchestral compositions. Space O, space C, space R, space I. And the prize for the crossword today is a Telegraph fountain pen. OK, last week's unfinished business. Dear Christoph, I got to tell you, Andrew Peach, who is your regular newsreader, he's not here today, but Peachy, who's your regular newsreader, who recently won an award for local radio, is a hero, and you are absolutely right, he looks nothing like he sounds. This is from Alex Hunter Gray. Thank you very much, Alex. Alex knows him, because he went to school with him. And another thing about Peachy is he is the guy who got a pedestrian crossing built outside Newbury College to save the students risking their lives to buy their lunch.
Top guy, Peachy.
Peachy is an all-round
He's a
good
geezer.
guy.
He's a top boy.
He is. Hi, Chris. You said at the start of your show on Saturday that you'd be issuing an apology to the Human League. You then mentioned it again when you mentioned Phil Oakey's birthday, and then again later when you said that fish fingers were also 50 this week. I didn't hear your apology. As a big fan of the Human League, I'd like to hear what it was that you were going to say. Well, I haven't actually made the apology yet, so we're still sort of building up to it, but we will actually do it. Dear Chris from Simon Bromley, hello there in Christerfield. Oh, that's where we live. Christerfield. Now, unless I missed it, in which case I'm going to look really foolish, the much-promised apology to Phil Oakey never appeared on last week's show, which means that this week you'll have to apologise to Phil Oakey for not apologising to Phil Oakey. Well, I think we might have to do
apologies.
that. Right, we have a crossword clue we can't get with the Telegraph. Not North American musical instrument used in orchestral composition. Space O, space C, space R, space I. We have got all the others, promise, and it's for a Telegraph fountain pen as well. From Catherine in Swanage, the crossword answer is ocarina. You can get them in the shape of frogs, and you have to blow into their bums. Well, yeah, but it doesn't fit. Space O, space C, space R, space I. From Flick, the answer is ocarina. No, it's not actually. It's not actually the answer. Dear Christoph from Geraldine, Telegraph crossword 24 across is concerti. It's concertina without the NA. Of course it is. By the way, I'm stuck on 4 across and 26 down. No, we can't just start reading the answers
No,
out
you can't.
to the Telegraph crossword.
You can't
As
do
people
that.
are having, we love doing it. We can't just ruin it for everyone. Oh, it's easy.
No.
I can't believe you can't get that one. Come on, look, you find it in your garden, sort of. That's from Geraldine Tadworth. So it's concerti. So we can actually send off for the pens, can't we? Yeah. And dear Chris, love the show. Oh, sorry, not allowed to say that. No, you're not. Listening now on the net at home in Osaka, Japan. I've given up listening to the podcast because I was listening on the train to work and kept laughing. People thought I was nuts. Hey, it's crazy out there. OK, Nick's here. Naughty Nick from the phone room. Hi, Nick.
Hello, Chris.
The phone's busy, Nick?
Ringing off the hook.
OK, now, Nick, your father is a vicar.
Yes.
Yes?
He is a vicar.
You did mention at the beginning of last week's show that he may well come in and bless the show. Didn't you?
I did mention that, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned it, in fact.
Yeah, well, I said, would he be prepared to bless the show? Because heaven knows we need it.
We do need it.
And you said, well, he once blessed some toilets. Is that true?
He did, he blessed some toilets in the church.
Do you think he'd come in and bless the show?
I think he'd come in and say hello.
Would not bless the show, though.
I don't know, I think there might be some difficult religious connotations.
But surely, I mean, we could have phoned him up and asked him to come in, but being a man that receives messages from on high, maybe he'd know just to come in, would he?
You never know.
Well, here he is now, Nick. Here he is.
Oh, my word.
Come in, the Reverend Mark Phelps. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Good to meet you.
This is your son.
It is, yes, it is.
Come and join us on the microphone.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, thanks for coming in. It's very nice. That was a real don't forget your toothbrush moment there, wasn't it? So, Nick, sit there. We call you the Reverend Mark Phelps.
Well, Mark is best, really.
Okay, Mark. But if we want to address you as the Reverend, it must be with your Christian name, mustn't it? I understand.
Oh, yes. You never say Reverend Phelps. That's not correct at all.
Why is that? Just tell us why.
I don't really know. Look it up in Crockford's directory and they'll tell you all the details of how you address the clergy of the Church of England from the Archbishop down. It's all there in black and white.
Okay, all right. And thanks for coming in. This is so cool.
Pleasure. It's fun.
We've got a hymn to play and everything in a minute.
Oh, wow.
We've got a CD of our favourite hymns. So, just before we get on to what you do and maybe some kind of blessing for the show, or whatever you can do for us, is Nick a good son?
He's wonderful, yes.
Yeah?
Yes, he keeps contact with us, he brings his washing home, all the things you expect,
And what do you think of him working in the media?
I'm thrilled. I think it's brilliant that he's got this job and he's working with you. It's great fun.
He's very good, isn't he?
He's very good.
He's
He's
honestly, he's one of our favourite. He's better than Marky Mark or Perky Pat or all those others that are out there baying now like some kind of strange animals waiting to be uncaged. So, what's the naughtiest thing Nick ever did as a kid?
Oh, you should have given me notice of that. He only told us some months or weeks after it happened, when he'd stayed out all night, a couple of nights for a weekend, and slept in the woods sort of thing. And
that's the naughtiest thing he did.
Well, that's the naughtiest thing I can
I'll
remember.
tell you, he did worse than that last Saturday night when he was having us. I've got a list for you. And as a vicar, that's not your type. You are a vicar?
I am a vicar, yes.
Okay. Have you ever said to Nick, "Bless you, my son"?
Oh, I'm sure I have, yes.
That must be so cool, wasn't it? When your dad says that and it's like all real.
And he really means it. Yeah.
And so, can I ask you, did you get a calling? How do you know?
How do I know? Well, I became a Christian when I was a student at university. I met somebody for the first time in my life. I was looking for truth and purpose. And I met somebody who says, you need to know Jesus. He's the truth. And I wrestled with that for about a year, and I thought, in the end, I came to the conclusion that this is true. And I just knew that God was calling me to church leadership. I just knew because I knew. It was just a kind of gut feeling.
So it's a deep knowledge?
Yeah, it was a very deep knowledge. It's never gone away.
It still is?
Yeah.
Okay, and what will you, where will you go from here? Will you always be a vicar, or could you be the Archbishop one day or something?
No, I think I'll be saved from that, and the Church of England will be saved from that. There's no danger of that. I will be a vicar, really, for the rest of my days.
Are you a good vicar, do you think? Are you a popular vicar?
You'd have to ask the congregation that, really.
Do you have a vicar? What's your biggest ever crowd?
Biggest ever crowd where we are now, about 250 maybe.
And do you want to give your church a shout out?
Hello, if you're there, if you're listening, nice to talk to you. See you tomorrow.
Where is it? what church is it, though?
It's in Harrow, halfway up the hill in Harrow.
Okay,
Christchurch is it called.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. Now, I know I've been told you can't bless the show. Is that right?
Well, we can do something along those kind of lines.
What could you do?
Well,
because we need all the help we can get.
We do need all the help we can get.
What I'd like to do is just express some hopes and wishes for you, if that's okay. Is that okay?
That's fantastic. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about what's Radio 2 about, what's the BBC about, and I thought it's about entertainment, it's about people, and I think it's also about truth. I think that the BBC has a long commitment to telling the truth. And my hope and wish for you would be that you continue to provide good fun for people, a good laugh, that you treat people in a Radio 2 kind of way, which I think is with respect, without cynicism. That's my feeling about you, and I think that's fantastic. And I would hope that you'd continue to seek and tell the truth, because that's incredibly important.
Thank you very much, Reverend Mark.
Brilliant.
Hey, come in. He's good, you're down.
He's not bad.
Yeah, he can do it. Well, thank you for coming in.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you very much.
Indeed. Now, today, I've invited a couple of friends to the studio.
Hello.
Hi, Gareth. How are you? Now, Gareth's fine, but he's just been dancing in front of the guests. Not very well, by the way. And the guest, by the way, is Katie Munya. Hi, Katie.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good, you?
Very well, thank you. Now, first of all, how do we pronounce your name?
Oh, I get that question asked all the time.
I just don't want to get it wrong, that's all.
No, it's all right. Melua.
Melua.
Yeah, and
Melua.
I'm not really that fussy, so...
Okay. Because there have been names in the past. I wanted to do a list of names that have been mispronounced in the past. For ages, Kim Basinger was wrong.
Is that right? How do you pronounce it then?
It's Kim Basinger.
Oh.
Apparently. Simon Bates put us right on that many years ago.
There you go.
Yeah, that's one of the great things that he did, in fact. So, now listen, you know what it's like, this show business world of ours, right? It's great, isn't it?
Well, it has its high points and its low points.
I think the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages.
I would say so.
That's
yeah,
how I feel.
Definitely.
But in this showbiz world of ours, sometimes we get told things that may or may not be true.
Yes.
And I'd now like to check one of those out with you.
Okay.
So we're thrilled to have you here.
Thank you.
Really thrilled to have you here. But we were told you flew over especially for the show. Now that sounds like a grand claim.
It does sound like a grand claim. Well, to be honest...
It's not true, is it? No.
Well, no, I was flying back today, but I was going to have a day off today because, it's the weekend.
Yeah.
But, they told me that you were, wanted me to be on the show, and I said, yeah, of course, I'd come and do it.
So it's half true?
It's sort of half true, yeah.
In this rocky business, half true we'll buy that every
Does
time.
that make you happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy. Of course we're happy. So you're going to have a day off. So were you in Belfast? Were you working or were you...
I was in Dublin.
In Dublin. Were you working?
Yeah, doing a TV show.
Okay. Was it any good?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I just went and sang, and that was it.
So, was it a nice atmosphere?
Yeah, lovely atmosphere. It was one called The Late Late Show, I think.
Hosted by what's his name? It wasn't Jerry Ryan, was it?
Oh, do you know what? I can't remember.
Do you know what? You can't
This
remember.
is so bad.
Do you always forget the name of the host of the show you're on?
But he was a very lovely, nice man. If you're listening.
Okay, I'm sure he won't be. No, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, so listen, I've read all about you. I know a bit about you, but I've read all about you. You have a fascinating story which has been talked about lots, so I won't bother with that.
I think.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. But I would like to know, if you don't mind me asking you, what's the strangest place a lyric has occurred to you?
The strangest place a lyric has occurred to me.
If that's how it works for you.
Well, I think... Ooh, I'd probably have to say... Probably sitting on the toilet.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the same. Not
That
lyrics,
does
obviously,
happen.
ideas. Yeah.
Do you know, because it's quite a quiet,
I know what
reflective
you mean.
moment
We're the
where
same.
you're sort of on your own,
Yeah.
you know, and no one's there to bother you.
I know.
And there's stuff coming out of you, but...
In every way.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
You know, it just helps the flow.
And what's do you immediately have to go and write it down? I have to write everything down all the time.
Well, obviously, I wipe and stuff, and...
Oh, hi, Katie. This is more than we hoped for. This is great, but so do you write? Do you scribble it down?
I usually scribble. I've got loads of sort of notebooks and stuff that I try and collect, and there's different notebooks for different types of things. I've got the travelling notebook, and
Have you ever sort of come up with a lyric and forgotten it and never been able to remember it again? Think, oh God, that was
that happens all the time, and it happens during the night as well.
What was the best? What was the best lyric you've ever forgotten?
Well, that's the point, isn't it?
I know. It's just another joke.
No, I know. No, I really, I can't remember, and that's the sad thing. But no, the worst thing is when you either when you have a drunken night or it's in the middle of the night and you sort of really you've just woken up.
No idea what you mean there. Drunken night?
I'm sure you don't. And you write something down. You think, oh, this is the best thing ever, and then you listen to it the next morning, and it's absolutely bad.
It's time for our fourth ever contestant on In a Jiffy, and today it's Katie Melua in a Jiffy. Okay, Katie, are you ready to play? Mm-hmm. Okay. Question number 1. Coke or Diet Coke?
Coke.
Question number 2. Strings or wind?
Wind.
Back to the toilet. Sand or snow?
Snow.
Snow, good answer. Pork scratchings or peanuts?
Peanuts.
Cuddly night in or crazy night out?
Cuddly night in.
Bass players or drummers?
Oh, that's a tough one. Bass players because they're mysterious.
Okay. Hellos or goodbyes?
Hellos.
Okay. Pint or half?
Half.
Passion or romance?
A bit of both.
No, you can't. You've got to go left or right.
Let's go for romance.
Yeah,
then.
okay. And finally, grand front entrance or sneaky back door?
Oh, now, but that could mean anything.
Exactly.
Well, let me go for the safe grand door.
Oh, you're the first guest ever to go for the safe grand door. Okay, well, thank you for that. So no second album nerves for you, because after a hugely successful first album, the second album can be a problem. Can be sometimes it can be the end of the road. Let me tell you. Don't you think,
Who are you
Katie?
pointing at?
Everybody, the world. Yeah, but yours is doing fine.
It seems to be, yeah. But I still think it's still early days. I mean, it's funny.
It's number
because-
1.
I know.
What do you mean? What are you looking for?
That's what everyone says, but I don't think music can really ever truly be judged until at least 5 years or 10 years down the line.
See,
do you know what I mean?
That's why I'm envious of your career, what you do for a living and what movie makers do. Because, people judge us immediately. And not very well. No. But yours is last forever. I mean, it's immortal, isn't it? It's immortality.
Well, no, that's if you make good music. And but you can never tell. And I don't think the artist can tell at all until, obviously, you're dead. So...
Oh, God, that's sweet. Brought us down a bit there, Katie, to be honest.
Sorry.
We're having a good time. Right, okay, Katie. Yes. Before we play Is This Your Life, which we're going to play in a moment, if that's okay with you, you know the middle 8 of songs?
Yes, I do know.
You know when you have your verses, then you have your choruses, but then you have the middle. There's the third dimension. Who invented the middle 8 and why?
It was to have a break between the verses and the chorus. Actually, I think it started off when the first songs... the American sort of songbook, they used to just have verses without the choruses, and then the bridge, the middle 8, as you say, came on as a sort of a break, really, and then they put choruses in. I mean, this all develops through time. I mean, God, is this a music lesson?
No, but I always wanted to know. Every week I try and find out something I don't know, I didn't know where the middle 8 comes from.
Yeah, it's to...
Is it to make us look...
No, it's when they first had the verses in, it used to get too similar, you know.
Right.
But you put the bridge in to have some sort of a break, something different.
So we look forward to it coming back.
No, we don't look forward to it. It usually happens only once, doesn't it?
No, we look forward to the song coming back.
Oh, well, yes, the song, yeah.
So it's like, where's the song gone? Oh, it's back!
There you go.
That's what it's like. Okay, because in 9 Million Bicycles in Beijing, is that what you call it, or do you call it 9 Million Bicycles?
9 Million
Are there 2 middle eights? Or is there 2 choruses?
No, I would say...
Because I heard it, I thought that's 2 middle eights there.
Well, no, what it is I would say it's sort of a verse and then an instrumental and then another verse. You know, I wouldn't
It's a little complex, though, isn't it?
It is,
9 Million Bicycles is a little complex for a song.
Well...
Now, that's because it's written by this genius, Mr. Bat.
Indeed it is.
Okay, of Womble's fame. And I know that everybody says that, but it's so cool that you can write 9 Million Bicycles in Beijing and the Womble song.
Oh, and many other things
and many
as well.
other things.
Yeah.
Of course, I know he's not written just the 2. I apologise.
No,
but you know... okay, opening lyrics. There are 9 million bicycles in Beijing. That's a fact. It's a thing we can't deny. Like the fact that I will love you till I die.
Yes.
Now, they're the kind of lyrics one would expect to find in a song like this. And it's about a metaphor for somebody's love for someone.
That's right.
But Mike, being older... Right, he's not fallen in love for the first. He hasn't got that natural inspiration where you fall in love with a girl and you say, "My God, I love her so much, I have to write a song about this."
Yes.
So do you have to, as you get older, do you have to imagine you're falling in love again, or is this about somebody he knows?
I think it's about his wife. He's got a very, loving, devoted wife, and.
But isn't just the one love song for your wife enough? Do you just have to keep?
No, you have to keep going.
Do you?
Of course.
Oh, writing them. Is that what it is?
Yeah, of course you do.
So you think the bicycle in Beijing thing is about Mrs. Bat?
Yeah, I think so. But, that's Well, yeah, that's the thing about songwriters. I mean, you don't have to sort of experience every single emotion you write about. I think there was a famous songwriter who said, if I had really done everything I'd written about, I'd be dead by now. Because, most songs are quite depressing sometimes. And, I myself as a songwriter, everything I write isn't directly taken from my own life experiences.
Observations on the rest of the world. And but now it's time for This Is Your Life. Or is this your life? Are you ready to play?
Yeah.
Okay, we have questions about Katie Melua for Katie Melua. Previously, Robbie Williams scored 4.
Right.
Richard Madeley scored 5.
Okay.
Last week, Ray Mears, he of the Outdoors, scored 6.
That's a good score.
So 6
So that's who I'm fighting against.
Yes. Are
This
you ready?
is war.
This is war?
Yeah.
In a showbiz kind of way. So here we go. I'll ask as many questions as I can, answer as many questions as you can, as quickly as you can. If you don't know one, just say pass. Okay, according to a piece in the News of the World, what was Katie Melua's ambition when she was 13 years old?
To be a politician or a historian.
Correct. What did a 15-year-old Katie Melua win her dad by singing Without You on an ITV Kids programme?
A chair.
An armchair.
Yeah.
According to an interview in the Daily Express magazine, who refers to Katie Melua as looking like a Romanian window cleaner?
Oh, my hairdresser, my makeup artist.
That's right. But we disagree. At what party attended by Katie Melua was the starter on the menu prawns with red papaya, toasted coconut, green chilli, peanut and lime dressing?
Prawns?
Yes. What party attended by Katie Melua?
Oh, what party?
Yeah.
What, my birthday party?
Which one?
21st.
Correct. What operation did a 13-year-old Katie Melua get to witness when she accompanied her dad on a Take Your Daughter to Work day?
Oh, a bypass operation.
A heart bypass, correct.
Yeah.
How high was the building Katie Melua jumped off in New Zealand a couple of months ago?
200 metres.
Correct. What did Mark Lamar give Katie Melua after an episode of Nevermind the Buzzcocks?
What, the Ella Fitzgerald CD?
Correct. What's the next line of this Katie Melua tune? Gazing at the stars up in the sky, wondering if love will ever pass me by.
Now that I've found you, I'll crawl off the search.
Correct, that's the right answer. I have to tell you, you've scored a massive 8 points.
Hey.
You go into the lead.
I said it was war.
Katie Melua, that was your life. All I can do now, well, I can do lots of things, but all I need to do now is thank everybody on the team for the show again. Thank you for listening. Thanks to Marky Mark in the phone. Naughty Nick. Thanks also to Perky Pat, Scott the Lot on the website, Lady Helen of Amazonia, she's been wonderful, Dr. Bunce, MSc, BSA, ex-BBC, ITV, CNA, B&Q. Thanks to our very special guest, Katie Melua. And Katie, good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for bothering to come on the show on your day off. We really appreciate it. And that's it. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next weekend.
Online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM. BBC Radio 2.
This is a download from the BBC. To find out more, visit bbc.co.uk/radio2.